Welcome to the Purple Stars podcast, the place where every life story and paw print has the power to touch your heart and inspire meaningful change. I'm Sarah Herzl, your host, a coach for health and mindset, a founder, an author, and above all, an animal lover. In this podcast, we bring together guests who share a deep love for our furry companions and offer unique perspectives on life and the life lessons they have learned from animals. If you're an animal lover who is eager to grow personally, this is precisely where you belong.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Purple Stars podcast. My name is Sarah. I am your host. And this is solo episode number 4, which is going to wrap up my birthday month. And let me tell you guys, now that I really pushed through with or followed through with airing 4 consecutive solo episodes, I want to tell you it definitely took a little bit of courage to do so, because ever since, I would say probably ever since like my teenage years, it definitely has been outside my comfort zone to take up more space. In this case, it's taking up more space on this podcast. And I'm pretty sure quite a few of you are probably also resonating with this. And if you are, first of all, I want to say I'm definitely going to record another solo episode about the root causes of why we are scared or uncomfortable to take up more space in our lives, and why are we then also scared to be too much for others. And also a few practical tools how to tackle that. This solo episode really is about just me sharing honestly that it took me courage to take up more space. Not just because, our guests are so amazing and have these incredible journeys and stories and life lessons to share, but simply because since my teenage years, as I said, taking up more space can sometimes feel a little uncomfortable for me. And if you also feel like, you're a little uncomfortable with taking up more space, it might be in the context of, emotional space. I feel uncomfortable crying in front of someone or asking for help, or because then, you're scared that you're being too much. You might also be scared to share great news and share your excitement without having to downplay it or apologize it. It might even be that you're scared to set boundaries when you take time and space for yourself, whether it's, saying no to certain requests or certain invitations. I feel there's so many situations where we're scared to take up more space. It could even be, laughing loudly in public, or wearing bright colored, bold clothes. I think this is, or even like moving aside automatically for others on the sidewalk, or when someone runs into you, although it's their fault, actually apologizing. I think there are so many situations where we make ourselves smaller and where we shrink ourselves, and where we are uncomfortable or even scared to take up more space. And with this short solo episode, I would love to remind you that, and I said this in another, I think, interview with Haley Curtis last year, that whenever you are yourself, you can never be too much of yourself. You can never be too much. And you might be saying, oh, Sarah, there was this one guy that definitely said I was too much. My parents sometimes said that too, and even my neighbors. I know there are definitely some people that feel like it, but this is on them. This is their perspective. But I want you to know, regardless of what other people are thinking, you can be never too much of yourself. Like, never. And you deserve to take up all the space that you need emotionally, mentally, spiritually, socially, physically. And taking up more space doesn't mean to be selfish and to not take care of others and not to be kind and not to be mindful of others' needs. Not at all. It actually means taking care of yourself so much that you give others the permission to do the same. So they then also feel more comfortable saying no in certain situations, taking a time out when they need it, sharing their opinion, sharing their voice, taking up more space and, wearing those bold colored clothes, or laughing out loud, even if others might just be, stuck in their gray thoughts that day. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to share in this solo episode, is to be very honest that it definitely took me a certain amount of courage to air 4 solo episodes. And I think it's always so great to step outside our comfort zone, whether it's on our day-to-day life, personally or professionally. And then actually seeing and getting to experience what happens when we do take up more space. And it might sometimes be, of course, that we get a pushback and that people don't like it as much. But trust me, you are growing so much by showing up for yourself, by giving yourself the space that you need. And ultimately, the more you take up your natural space, the more you will attract people into your life that honor your space, that even want you to take up your space, and that is celebrate when you do take up your space. So let's take up more space. And yeah, that's really what it is. And looking back, what an amazing month, 4 solo episodes. And there was a little worry in me that some of you might unsubscribe. And it seems like most of you are still around. So thank you so much. And maybe these 4 solo episodes are also a little invitation for you to take up more space in your life and also to see that it's totally okay. Please be safe, and I can't wait to see you next Wednesday.